These engines shouldn't really have a problem going 150,000+ miles if Hey everyone, Jake from 8020 Automotive here. Today we are talking about common problems and reliability with the Subaru EJ257 engine. The EJ257 is the legendary motor used in the Subaru WRX STI. The motor has been used all the way since 2004 up until the end of the STI production in 2021, and that of course makes it a very popular engine for performance modifications. I think just about anyone my age has a friend who back in high school bought an STI with probably 130,000+ miles on it, tried cranking the boost up to 30+ PSI, and then blew his motor. You know which friend I'm talking about there, don't you? These engines are extremely fun to tune because you can make easy power out of them. However, there are a number of reliability and engine weaknesses that make these things honestly not the most reliable when it comes to tuning and performance modifications. Now, we do have a video talking about the power limitations and performance modifications for this engine. So in this video, we're mostly going to focus on the problems and some of the main issues as to why the EJ257 tends to have problems when you start to modify it. This engine was used from 2004 all the way up until 2021, and so there were three main variants of it. The first one was from 2004 to 2007, then we had 2008 to 2014, with the last one being from 2015 all the way up until the end of its production. The main point here is that the engine does get slightly better through each variant, but the overall problems with this engine remain the same because the core issues were not addressed or changed in those updates. While the first generation is of course going to be the least reliable, the main problems with this engine are still very true and present in the third generation. So before we jump into the specific problems, let's talk just briefly about the high-level problems with the EJ257. The main issue comes from an oiling standpoint. These engines have very narrow main oil galleries that lead to the bearings. Ultimately, oil starvation and oiling problems become severe and are one of the problems that the internals and the main bearings on these engines fail. That's because bearings number 2 and number 3 are actually the last ones to receive oil. So anytime you run into oil starvation issues, that's going to directly affect and hit the main bearings first. And that's what leads to issues with the bearings internally. But the oiling problem is also compounded by heat. These engines don't take heat very well, and ultimately what happens is the piston ringlands end up wearing down, and then you get a lot of oil seepage passing through the ringlands, which causes excessive oil consumption, which ultimately then leads to lower oil levels, which then leads to oil starvation, which then leads to all of your internal problems. So those are important to know as we go ahead and jump into these list of problems here, because a lot of these issues come right back to those two things. And unfortunately, those are just design flaws of the EJ257 and part of the reason why they tend to have a lot of problems when they're tuned and modified and when they get to higher mileage. So with that being said, the number one problem to talk about here is piston ringland failure. The EJ257 has very thin pistons, and when these engines are subjected to heat, and especially excessive heat from tuning and running higher boost pressures, the ringlands wear down, and that ultimately causes oil to seep past them, and that leads to some of our excessive oil consumption and oil starvation issues that then lead to other internal engine problems. The ultimate fix here is to upgrade the pistons, which is something that you'll need to do if you're looking to do a serious high power build on these things. So after the piston ringlands start to go bad, we then run into low oil levels, and that leads to our second issue here, which is going to be spun main bearings or main bearing failure. This is caused by low oil levels, which leads to oil starvation, and like I mentioned, the number 2 and number 3 bearings are the last to receive oil, so those bearings are the ones that tend to fail. One of the most important things that you can do on these EJ257s is make sure they always have enough oil on them. Make sure you're using good oil, and also do very frequent oil changes, at least every 5,000 miles, because we need to keep the oil quality and the quantity in the engine as high as possible to prevent any issues with the main bearings, as well as to help any issues with the piston ringlands. Third on our list is going to be head gasket failure. This again is something that tends to happen because of excess heat within the engine, likely because of tuning, modifications, and running higher boost pressures. A common fix here is to run an upgraded head gasket, as well as use ARP head studs because head gasket failure is extremely common. Fourth on our list is excessive oil consumption. Now this is kind of a byproduct of the earlier issues that we talked about with the piston ringlands. It's just something to be aware of and make sure that you don't let these engines run too low on oil. Fifth on our list is going to be turbocharger failure. These engines experience turbocharger failure at a rather high rate compared to other turbocharged engines, and that again is because of excessive heat production as well as oil starvation from low oil levels caused by all of these other problems. And then the sixth thing on our list is going to be issues with the cooling system. Now this is probably more so common on older EJ257s like the first generation, but the plastic radiator and all of the radiator hoses are known to go bad and crack and fail. So it's good to upgrade to an aluminum radiator and to make sure all of your coolant hoses are taken care of, because the last thing that we need is to run into cooling system issues and overheating, because overheating is of course going to compound all of the other potential problems of the EJ257. The final thing that I'm going to mention is that the clutch is another somewhat weak point on these engines, and so once you start to add modifications and add a ton of power, the clutch is going to wear out a bit more quickly and need upgrading. So ultimately, that's really the main problems with this engine. The scary thing about that list is just about everything that I talked about was either very expensive to fix or catastrophic. That's ultimately why you see a lot of people blowing up these engines when they don't know what they're doing. The most important thing is proper tuning. There's a lot of people that try to just crank the boost levels up, or they're using a poor tune, something basic and off the shelf. I can't stress enough getting custom tuning done by someone who truly understands these engines and making sure that you maintain them extremely well when it comes to oil changes, you know, preventing excessive heat and overheating. So taking care of those things is predominantly what's going to lead to better longevity and reliability out of these engines. Now, in a non-tuned, no mods standpoint, these aren't bad engines. These engines shouldn't really have a problem going 150,000+ miles if they're well taken care of and they have no modifications. But of course, they are very popular to modify. It's so easy to drop a tune and a couple bolt-ons on it and just crank the power up, and that's ultimately what leads to issues on these engines. So you just need to be very careful about the tuning, the power that you're producing, and making sure you can mitigate any oiling or heat issues. All that being said, we still love the EJ257 and of course the STI platform. It's one of those iconic JDM tuner cars that we all grew up loving. It just requires a little bit of specialized knowledge and a little bit of extra care to make it reliable and prevent it from running into engine issues. That covers it for our video on problems and issues with the EJ257. If you guys appreciate this video, please click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for all our future content.